Welcome to the Cinematic Flashbacks.
Today I'm going to explain 65. Let's go. The initial text expresses that before the beginning of humanity, different civic establishments across the universe had endeavored to travel into space. In the world Samaris, a pilot named Plants, Adam Driver, is with his significant other, Nika Ruler, as they watch their girl Navine, Chloe Coleman, on the ocean front. Plants is set to wander on a 2-year mission with different travelers in the expectation of finding a remedy for a disease that Navine is experiencing. Navine is attempting to whistle yet is experiencing difficulty doing as such, so Plants shows her his own method. At some point into the mission, Factories is appropriating his boat when he runs over a space rock belt. The boat is hit with pieces of more modest space rocks, making extreme harm to the boat and sending it tearing toward Earth. Factories crashes in a bog, with different travelers winding up dead subsequent to being all tossed from the boat. Plants conveys a pain call and starts to review the climate. It is breathable to find that the air. He then, at that point, finds one survivor in cryostasis, a little kid, Ariana Greenblatt. As he conveys her to somewhere safe, he recognizes a colossal ripped and impression in the mud. More text seems saying that a long time back, a puzzling guest showed up on the planet. The following morning, Factories keeps on looking at the climate, when he is gone after by a raptor before he pounds the life out of it. He sees the young lady stowing away and pursues her, persuading her to return to the boat with him. Plants carries the young lady to the boat to keep an eye on her injury, learning she is Koa and that she doesn't communicate in English, save for a couple of words. Plants calculates that the cases expected to stall off the planet are out on a mountain, so he misleads Koa and tells her that they will track down her family on the mountain. Before they adventure off, Koa watches video logs that Factories got from Navine during his journey. They are at first happy, yet she seemed to develop furious and upset by her dad's non-attendance before the last video Koa sees is Navine saying that she is extremely drained. Factories switches the video off and they get going. On the trip to the mountain, Koa sees a little dinosaur trapped in mud. Processes hesitantly helps her draw the dino out, yet minutes after the fact, a pack of hunter dinos emerges and lethally destroy the little dinosaur, making Koa cry. Factories admires the sky and sees what resembles a brilliant item making a beeline for the planet. As they keep strolling, Plants and Koa start to bond gradually. He begins to relax and act energetic with her, and he even conveys her on his back as they walk further, and he tells her the best way to whistle like how he attempted to instruct Navine. At the point when it begins pouring, they look for cover in a cavern. Plants sets up security screens, one of which goes off as Koa is resting when a parasitic animal goes into her mouth. Factories figures out how to kill the parasite and save Koa. Before long, a tremendous hunter dinosaur shows up and endeavors to go after them. Plants shoots it in the face, yet it endeavors to enter the cavern. Factories and Koa drop into an opening to get to somewhere safe and secure. In the red, Factories attempts to discover a way. Koa takes out a video log from Navine that she took, which Factories is vexed for from the beginning. However, he then, at that point, plays it, despite the fact that he is too upset to even consider checking it out. He then attempts to get out from underneath the cavern prior to utilizing a little bomb to puncture it. While creeping out of there, Factories and Koa are isolated, and Plants ends up caught after a slight collapse. Koa makes the whistling sound. She figured out how to tell Plants she is fine, and she gets cave, barely staying away from pterodactyls and a raptor that she figures out how to explode in a log. After Factories escapes the cavern, he sees the brilliant article overhead and uses his gadget to check it. His PC lets him know that it is a space rock, the space rock, that is set to disastrously affect Earth in around 12 hours. Factory strolls until he falls into some sand trap. He calls out for Koa, who figures out how to get a long branch and haul him out before he sinks. The two come to the highest point of the mountain. However, Koa becomes distressed when she tracks down the assemblages of her folks dead in their cryopods. She flies off the handle with plants for misleading her, yet he quiets her down in the wake of attempting to make sense of that he went through exactly the same thing since Navine kicked the bucket months prior during the mission, and his last memory of her will be her being furious with him for not being there for her. He is sorry to Koa and promises to get them out of there. As they attempt to begin their departure unit, the boat falls further down the mountain and gets handicapped. Two T-Rexes approach them and start to assault. Plants fends them off while Koa stays in the boat, hanging tight for it to return on the web. Factories shoots them both dead, yet the cavern dinosaur from prior gets back to polish Plants off. He runs toward a spring to attempt to wreck it, yet Koa shows up to help by wounding the monster in the eye. The fountain then, at that point, ejects and dissolves the cavern dinos go head-to-head. Factories and Koa successfully return to the functional boat in time, simple minutes before the space rock has its effect and demolishes the dinos on the planet. The two leave Earth's air and make a beeline for an obscure objective. The credits show Earth redeveloping over the long run until it arrives at its advanced progress.
Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing.